Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here's just going, great! Let's go find out what this Tatara Suna mystery is all about. Cole, learn to command.
All right, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe...
No, of course I believe you. Actually, this is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started...
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people agree...
Actually, we don't know much about that place either.
My teacher chose this area of research as...
If you don't mind, I'd love...
hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of...
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves...
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some... But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it. And apart from the sword maker, his servant, and...
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the...
So first this strange person goes missing.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So
Stop shouting!
This part's important. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government record. Even back then, Tatara Suna was already at the center of Ina's...
Wait, so there are two missing...
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot...
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like...
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan.
The Kaidahara?
Sawada, you left out...
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget?
Get to the point, for Pete's...
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher...
Puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your face...
No, Paimon just meant...
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon...
Oh, and please read my... Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think... Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put...
Wait! You're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to... Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on...
good point. Okay, back to the drawer.
We have some other stuff to do, so...
All right, thank you. If you...
Hey, so... that thing they were talking... Okay, then, even if we did know... After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. And if you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees... Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see. Traveler, Paimon, Nahida! Bad news. Did he escape or...
Sure.
Hey! What are you doing in the Sanctuary of Sir... I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made... A deal?!
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumero would keep me around other... But if that's the case...
Don't flatter yourself. It was...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd...
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm... But Paimon's worried...
It's not every day you see people...
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal.
Well, I, for one, have no reason to doubt you.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable info. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong plus. He's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Wait a second. Former? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it's...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate...
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings.
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear.
Yeah, obviously! Then let's put that discussion to the side for today. Can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, yes. As I told you once before. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that? Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not... It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. Exactly! Or what if... I understand. But how things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner as Sumeru's deity. It is my responsibility to be on guard against the If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers, it's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it. Paimon's still worried. I was gonna contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from... Great. Prepare yourselves. Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company.
Shut your beak, jailbird!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now...
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the unlike anywhere else. Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides. Fine. Let's call it true.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead...
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh. The snark on this guy, it's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure. Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh! Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so... say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder you mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it.
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to...
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind.
Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gesse got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must... Of course you do. You can't have your
So...
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your
Wait! How did you know about that?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I did it. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in... Huh?
anonymous light.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk?
There's no one else who can enter the furnace.
Is that so? Well, since you...
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material, has since flourished, giving skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this...
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants.
You flatter me. From the...
So you say, Escher.
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want... What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke, mounting production, and recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth, and none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is... But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for...
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a dip...
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility.
Judging from the look in your eyes...
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. At least, it's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity. And...
If you kill me...
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a... If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity.
The... Fatui?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your...
That's it? That's why you...
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when my device functions precisely as you say. It is the only It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with... Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent pup...
If you give him, he has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend... Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a... Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves...
you alright?
Dottore? Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? But why did we see the—
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments,
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
does it? But this memory shows that you know very well what that means.
Let's give him some space.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it.
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. The mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with—
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does—
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in I don't know the details. It's up to you whether— Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. So tell me, in the... Done.
Huh? What?
Nothing. I was just So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't...
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance, but if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Oh no, he's really gone!
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out!
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your...
An emergency? How about...
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbance...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? He wants to change the past? But surely that's right. You can't just rewrite history. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no... So, why does... Paimon so... Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really... Uh-oh. Paimon... Paimon's had it with that look. There's no way he'll actually succeed. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. but... So, how about... alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Andrean chili chicken! Oh, also a dip... What do we... What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Is that a food... What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it some... So, the balladeer. Is... Okay, sure. Where are we... Huh? Fine by Paimon, but... Is everything okay?
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question I wasn't The once renowned Raiden Gokuda, the art of forging practiced by these most of the great swordsmith clans of old. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha, if my memory serves me right.
Oh yeah, we learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuda and then
In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. He told me that, as we are both, there is no harm in telling you the Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And overseeing it, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow in his heart. The whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children. Alas, if only the story... Finally, he made a drastic decision. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even... But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, that is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yes. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. Then on to the next step. Lead the way. We're here!
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss
Are they out?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it.
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss... As for the commissioner himself, well, you...
So pretty much...
Very much...
Well, gotta Got any more questions?
You're very welcome. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. I must say, many things in Inazuma.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see her.
All right then. Take.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels.
Well,
Do my eyes deceive?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now.
We have some questions and thought you might be.
Certainly do. If there's anything you want to know, just ask. Like the back of my hand. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live. Oh, well, it's a long story. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation.
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, they say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier?
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten in.
What brought this on? Did you Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who... But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Totara Suna is concerned. Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. Hey, don't. All right, let's head off and go meet.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you...
We have time. What?
It's the same topic we discussed.
Still looking for more info about Totara Suna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real... Huh?
I presume you'll want to read mine.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler, remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he...
What did you find out?
It's a long story.
Wow, so many...
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for... Ugh. So there's no...
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently...
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right.
And they're back at it. These guys are really...
Oh, so sorry. Look at us.
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do. Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he...
The Balladeer? This sounds like some kind of code name. You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. This story makes sense. Every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul, and
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabukimono in other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this. The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahida's right. Cheer up! How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits. Come on. What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. What is it? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't... Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want to wait. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time...
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First...
Hey! What do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight.
Take it easy.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash... Huh? You two over there. You've been following me all the way from the city. Have we... No, we haven't met. I have no recollection.
Are you...
Sorry, but I just can't take your word.
A puppet?
Huh?
You were right!
I guess you do know me after all. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, okay. But please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm.
That's...
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay? Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. But look, it was pouring down and there you were, sauntering. Imagine you and me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why's this guy But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it, sir.
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation? Oh, okay. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of...
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world and...
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest...
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything!
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing...
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world.
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation.
Is that because this is kind of like...
You could say that.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction. There's someone passed out.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Not a scratch. And these...
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa.
And the rest is history.
In the original version of events...
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang it.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared as the second in command at Tatarasuna. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had...
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
were born?
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but he kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started...
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup. We're family now.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, after his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him.
What happened to the child?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-awaited rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Stars, shine for... Let's play! Gotcha!
This is bad.
Time for takeoff.
Come at me. No excuse for slacking. Be a
Here we go.
killjoy. We've only just begun.
Here comes the catch. Quietly now. Brace yourself.
Predators.
Think you can get away?
Hell, you got it.
Gotcha.
You can't run. Well,
Don't be
I see
scared.
through you. I miscalculated.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory in
In the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Think you can get away?
The merrier.
Burn!
Busted. Star Sunshine. Here we go.
Let me amuse myself a little.
Retribution!
Quietly now. Things are about to get tight. Time for takeoff. Yeah. Looks like we have arrived in Sumero. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, You are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
You got any more questions? That's far enough!
Perish!
The wind rises. Search for it. At my command, you shall fall. Fury. Feeble human! Insignificant past! My endless cycle fury begins! Feeble human! Insignificant past! Cry louder! Behold! Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, after learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
you've gotten so...
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumero and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered. Including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, all right.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumero for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce, so we can finally go eat?
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old... The dark clouds had dissipated, but they can... Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized... All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise. That life is a story too long to be told. A journey that you must walk to behold.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, great! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room?
You sound lost. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would...
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily... When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, like a vase that falls to the ground, history does not change either.
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were... Anyway, it feels wrong just leaving it.